Hey, this is part two of the fall of Nineveh. If you join us in part one, we found out that Nineveh was saved during the time of Jonah, but about 160 years later, God sends Nahum with another warning, but this time that Nineveh would be destroyed. And we found out that the reason they were going to be destroyed is because Nineveh decided within 160 years that they no longer wanted to worship Yahweh, but instead they wanted to worship all the other gods, the false gods. So Nahum chapter 2, this is the destruction of Nineveh, and God tells Nineveh ahead of time what's going to take place. And the reason for this is because God is still gracious. He still wants to save people. But his judgment will stand true, and we need to take heed of that. Here's what Nahum chapter 2 here reads: The scatterers have come against you. Men of ramparts, watch the roads, stress for battle. Collect your strength, for the Lord is restoring the majesty of Jacob as the majesty of Israel. For plunderers have plundered them and ruined their branches. The shields of his mighty men is red, his soldiers clothed in scarlet. The chariots have come, flashing metal, on the day he musters them. The cypress spear are banished. The chariots race madly through the streets. They rush to and fro. Through the squares they gleam like torches. They they dart like lightning. He remembers his officers. They stumble as they go. They hasten the wall. They hasten to the wall. The siege tower is set up. The river gates are open. The palace melts away. Its mistress stripped. She is carried off. Her slave girls lamenting, mourning like doves, and beating their breasts. Nineveh is like a pool whose waters run away. Hot, hot, they cry, but none turns back. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold. There is no end of the treasure, or of the wealth of all the precious things. Desolate, desolation and ruin. Hearts melt and knees tremble. Anguish is in all the lines. All faces grow pale. Where is the lion's den, the feeding place of the young lions, where the lions and the lioness went, where his cubs were, with none to disturb? The lion tore enough for his cubs, and strangled prey for his lioness. He filled his caves with prey, his dens with torn flesh. Behold, I am against you, declares the Lord of hosts. I will burn your chariots in smoke, and the sword shall devour your young lions. I will cut off your prey from the earth, and the voice of your messengers shall no longer be heard. So God is telling Nineveh that that the city is going to burn down, that the city is going to melt away, that the all of the treasures that Nineveh has will be taken from them and given to another person, another nation, most likely Israel, because right here in verse 2 it says, For the Lord is restoring the majesty of Jacob as the majesty of Israel. And then he talks about the shields of the mighty man is red, his soldiers are clothed in scarlet. There's a war about to happen. It says God tells them in the very beginning, dress for battle. collect your strength. God is warning them. Get ready, Nineveh. Get ready for battle. Nineveh is like a pool whose waters run away. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold. There is no end of treasure or of the wealth of all precious things. So Nineveh was wealthy. Nineveh had vast amounts of wealth. A city that, 160 years before, they turned to Yahweh, and Yahweh made Nineveh wealthy, but they turned against Yahweh. My favorite part of this whole story is actually chapter 3. And for some reason, I circle verse 2 and I put down 2 Kings 18. And this was 2 years ago. So I'm trying to figure out, why did I put that down? Why did I put down 2 Kings 18? I don't know. That's a long chapter to read. I put that down for a reason. And maybe I'll go back and read it and figure out why I put that down, because I put that down 2 years ago for a reason. I had a purpose for that. But Nahum chapter 2 is just God describing to Nineveh, here's what I'm going to do. Thanks for watching this video and this message. This website right here, patreon.com/growyourfaith. If you wish to support the ministry financially, then you can do that. The money will go towards planting a local church that will be targeting young people in Northwest Wisconsin. So Northwest Wisconsin, most of the churches, it's just people over the age of 55, and young people are everywhere. But I'm just one person. I have one income. I don't have unlimited resources, but I want to I want to reach young people for Christ. And I don't just want to reach young people for Christ. I believe God is calling me to do this. And so, like I said, if you want to join me in making that mission possible, $5 a month, and I'm working on creating a new Bible version. It's going to be called Grow Your Faith Bible. And if you become a Patreon, you'll get access to that Bible